Look how they massacred my boy. So what exactly have I done here? So we'll take a look at what I have done to this carbine from High Point here. Have I made it more tactical? Have I made it better? I don't know. Have I made it look awesome? Yeah, and that's what matters, because as long as it looks awesome, it's amazing. Well, this first started off with me wanting to put a red dot on this. Now, I liked the sights that came on it. They were a nice kind of peep sight aperture, very grand-like as far as what it looked like on there. Not how you set it, but just, you know, the sight picture that you got, and I've always really liked that. But it does take a little bit to pick that back up between shots, and I wanted a red dot on it, and red dots are starting to get kind of stupid cheap. So what I've done here is got a Sig Romeo. Putting this on here involved me having to do other things, and I kind of just kept adding stuff to it. So the first thing I noticed when I put this on here was that the stock rail up here just had like a lot of flex on it. You could grab it and just twist that around. How big a deal is that? I don't know, but it kind of bothered me, so I got a nice metal machined one to put on here. It's exactly the same, or mostly exactly the same shape and contour as the old one. It's just aluminum instead of the molded plastic there, so it holds itself in place better there, and that ain't going nowhere. I got that from Downrange Products or Downrange Manufacturing. They've got a number of different products on there that you can get. I got that from them, as well as a different charging handle there. The old one that was on there, it's got this knurling on it there, and right along the edges here it gets really rough. I don't know, just kind of sharp on your hand there. They didn't really smooth that out very well. I just like it better, and that was pretty cheap, and it, you know, that and that was enough to give me free shipping, so, you know, good reason to go with that. I had done this earlier, the little thing here for putting the mags on it there. I don't know if that's tactical or not, but it's nice to be able to just kind of stick them on there and have your mags with the gun when you grab it. This is something you can get from High Point that goes on there and is a really simple, just a real simple thing to add there, and it's about the price of 2 mags to get the 2 mags and the little attachment holder there. So really, I mean, if you're gonna spend the money to get a couple of mags, you might as well buy this guy and get that on there. I wanted to put a sling on this because that sling that comes with it is basically just like this little web strap that goes on there, and yeah, that thing sucked. And so I was thinking about, what do I really like as far as a sling? What is my favorite sling? Well, I went back to the Grand, that I've thought that sling that was on the Grand was the most amazing. Just got it in black instead of that OD green. So yeah, I have always liked the Grand sling because I think that this is just so quick and easy to use on here. I mean, are there better slings? Probably, but I think this is like peak 1940s technology here, guys. Now, it took some modification to get it on there. The little sling loops that are on here are not as wide as the Grand sling, so had to do a couple of things. Basically take this to the grinder and just kind of thin that out there. You can see how wide that is there and how it kind of tapers down now to fit through there. The reason I had to put that through there is because while this web will go through that loop there, it doesn't slide through very well. So when you're trying to change the you know, length on it here by you know, the adjustments on it, it doesn't slide through very well if it isn't through the Grand piece there. I also had the unfortunate downside that the only way I could think to run everything through that bottom sling, since it had to be smushed down, was to cut off the little metal piece that was there on the end of it and put this on it. Modification, I'm going Bubba on it, okay? Speaking of going Bubba, this little foregrip here, I've always liked these angled foregrips. I was too cheap to buy a nice Magpul one. I bought some cheap hinky one off of Amazon, and it seems to do pretty well. The modification I had to do on that is that it's got these weird little wings that kind of go up there, and so I had to saw those off and then file them down smooth on the sides to get to fit. But that goes on there. I really like that. Putting some sort of grip on here is a very good idea because it just gets you a better hold on it there. And then I got to thinking, well, this thing came with a threaded barrel on it. I should put something on there. And a couple of reasons I wanted to put something on there. One thing was that I had taken the front sight off of it, and instead of just taking the blade out of the thing, I took that whole front piece off that's usually on here, and then I decided it needed something, so I put this muzzle brake from Fortis on there. Is that something that I actually need? Probably not. I mean, it's a little 9mm carbine. I doubt it's got a whole lot of climb on it, but come on. This thing looks awesome, and it just looks better on there. Because remember, the most tactical thing to do is just to make your stuff look awesome, and if it looks awesome, the bad guys will run away from you because it'll be so darn scary. I had a little bit of trouble with the crush washer that came with this. That when I put the crush washer on there and did that, the alignment on it, it was sitting there at about 1 o'clock, which is not ideal because then you got to go, pretty much all the way around to get it back up there, and that's way too far. You want to go about, turn it about 90 or so. So I just got a little barrel nut to put on here instead, and was able, tighten those up against each other. Got that on there good. One thing, I'm buying a muzzle brake for a 9mm. Make sure you buy a 9mm one and not a 223. A 223 will thread on there, but the hole in it will not be big enough, and you'll end up with like a 9mm or somewhere around 380 sized projectile trying to go through a 223 or 556 hole, and that is not going to be a good thing. I don't know exactly what would happen, but it would be bad, so don't do it. And I did manage to get a little bit of video of this at the range before my camera conked out. Okay, so I wasn't shooting particularly good there. Not like an amazing shot anyway, but I was doing a lot better with this later. Didn't take me really long to get it sighted in. I've got it sighted in at about 50 or 60 feet, which is kind of around where I want it at. And I think this makes it a lot better gun there, just having the grip on it. The red dot on this guy is like amazing. Having a better sling on it that doesn't completely suck is good. The foregrip does a lot for it because, that lets you just really get a lot better grip on it than just grabbing around this thing up there. But I like what I've done with it, and it's a little bit of a look as to what I did with it. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down into the comment section and leave any thoughts you have down there. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to my channel and click the little bell notification to make sure that you catch all the videos that I post so you don't miss anything. I'm Jeremy with Poindexter G, and we'll see you next time.